Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I grew up watching this movie, and yes, this is like my third time filming this, but anyways, that's besides the point. So, so a few, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6, 7-ish years ago at this point, I remember scrolling on, I think, YouTube at one point, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I remember seeing this theory that the Rocky, Tum Tum, and Colt grew up to be Scorpion. And although as fun as that theory sounds, it is interesting. And yes, Three Ninjas is a very 90s movie. But I was also thinking, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But then again, I was like, well, if that makes sense, and there's going to be a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out soon, which this was like 5, 6, 7 years ago at this point. I was like, let's see how the new Mortal Kombat looks first before we pinpoint if it makes sense or not. And then I started watching it, watching the Three Ninjas to see if that theory could check out. And it kind of does in a weird way. It kind of checks out. But there's also some interesting details we're also forgetting. Now, we all know that Cobra Kai is on its last season. So I was like, well, wouldn't it be even more interesting to keep this fan theory gravy train going and get deeper into this Mortal Kombat Scorpion gravy train. And I was like, okay, well, if this fan theory does kind of turn out to be kind of true or accurate or real, then let's just say, for fan theory purposes, that the grandpa is a distant cousin of Mr. Miyagi, and you have the sensei of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a part of that family tree, because it's different forms of that, like, one family, the whole family has different techniques, so that could be an interesting, thing. And something interesting that I feel like I should bring up. They had a dojo. The bad guy of the first movie, Snyder, and the grandpa had a dojo. What if that dojo that they had, the grandpa and Snyder, was an early prototype of Cobra Kai. And not only that, but what if Snyder met up with Shredder, the Shredder, before he was known as the Shredder, and they formed a partnership, and because the Foot was already kind of established at this point. What if the Foot was in the early stages of developing, right? And Snyder and the, Shredder met up, became buddies, partnered up, and they found attraction from they got noticed by a few organizations, the Hand and the founder of Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai's ancestor or whatever, and the Yakuza, and they came, like the Yakuza, the Hand, and the grandfather of the founding principal method of Cobra Kai is the grandfather of kind of like the secret big bad of the whole entire franchise is formed Cobra Kai back in the early days, you know, of karate, you know, or like the karate boom, or the karate big bang, or whatever the thing is. And then you have the like bad guys of the G.I. Joe who kind of got incorporated in with this organization, and it's massive. You have one massive brand, you know, it's kind of like taking over everything, right? Has its hand in everything, but also is separated by different areas, different sections in like different parts of the world. And then you have that, you know, and everything's just coming together in one big family melting pot of like Sub-Zero's family and Scorpion's family tree, you know, just duking it out, you know, and like the feud continues. And like, cause Julie is kind of like a third generation of Miyagi-Do, and you have like Daniel LaRusso, you have the two LaRusso second generations and whatnot, so that could work. And like the grandpa could be a distant cousin of Mr. Miyagi, which is a nice bridge between the Karate Kid trilogy and the next Karate Kid, which could be an interesting idea. Just saying. Who knows? That could be interesting. But anyways, that's just my fan theory. But yeah, anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far for right now. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.